Hello, my name is A. Gudo, the Transparency Teacher. I am a recovering codependent, adult survivor of child abuse, and domestic violence. And I'm located in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, do you feel as if you are always being taken advantage of? Do you feel angry, depressed, and filled with anxiety every day and just don't know how to stop it? You may be suffering from codependency. And today, I want to give you a bonus webinar before my audio premiere video tonight of What is Narcissism? Verbal Injury Edition. That will be premiering on my Facebook tonight at 7:59 p.m. And that webinar will contain one tactic that narcissists use to disable their victims. So after this webinar, please click the link on my Instagram profile to be routed to my Facebook page and click Get Reminder on my premiere video announcement. Now, today's bonus Transparency Tuesday's topic is narcissism versus codependency. In this webinar, you will find similarities and differences and why these two types of people connect. This will further explain why victims stay with their abusers so long. The benefits to listen to this webinar is to show that you are not alone and you're not crazy, but there is hope for recovery. And this is also to educate yourself to be more self-aware, and it allows you to identify those who sees you as prey. So let's get to it. Codependence. They desire finding love outside of the self. However, narcissists find superiority outside of the self. Codependents must support others by any means necessary, even if it means their own demise. Narcissists must sabotage to make sure others suffer, to feed their ego, to feel superior, but they will disguise it as if it's a helping hand to confuse you, as if it's just an honest mistake. Now, codependents give without any boundaries. This person will wake up at 1 a.m. in the morning because your tire was flat and will stay with you during the whole process, and they have to go to work tomorrow at 5. But they'll make it happen. Okay? The narcissist takes without boundaries. They could know you have no more money for the rest of the week for your 5 children, and they will willingly take the $5 that you have and will be willing for them to starve and won't care. Okay? Codependents have no empathy for self, period. And it's really sad because they love people so much, but when it comes to them, it's like, I feel as if I'm selfish if I get my nails done. It could even get ridiculous as if, oh my gosh, my fellow coworker doesn't have a meal today, and if I eat, then that's selfish. So I'll give my meal to my coworker. Like, it's crazy. For narcissists, no empathy for others. Somebody could just say, I've been diagnosed with cancer. And then they'll try to one up you like, oh, I almost thought I had a cancer scare in 2010. You'll be okay. What's for dinner? That's it, okay? Now, has a need to people please is one of the top things for a codependent. They have to make sure that everybody else is okay, but not themselves. Narcissist has a need to be pleased. They're not pleasing nobody, okay? This is like, look, you please me or else. And that's usually where the abuse occurs. Now, codependents don't know their own needs or thoughts. And it can be so severe where they could have been running the whole week, not taking one bath, not brush one teeth of theirs. And they're going and going and going because they want to make sure the children are okay, make sure their partner's okay, make sure work is okay. Everybody else except them. Or even it comes to liking a specific dish. If they become so brainwashed by the narcissist, they won't know their favorite color. They won't know their favorite food. They won't know what they prefer to wear. They don't know. Because they don't know who they are. Okay? Now, narcissists uses needs or thoughts to abuse others by getting narcissistic supply. So they're going to be thinking about different ways of how I can get what I need by any means necessary. And these are ruthless people. Ruthless people. Now, codependents have low self-esteem. They could be the most beautiful person on earth, but they don't see it. They'll never see it. And if somebody says it, they won't believe it. Trust me, I've been in that situation. I'm like, oh, okay. Egotistical. Can never do anything wrong is a sign of a narcissist. Like, you can't tell them enough times that they're gorgeous, okay? They will let you know that they're gorgeous, and they'll let you know they're the smartest. They're better at anything than you, period. They don't even have to. They will say, I'll be better than the president. I'll be better than, I'll be the best CEO ever. And they haven't done anything. They have no track record of it, but they will create one, okay, to make sure they are better than you. Now, codependents are too emotionally available for others. When codependents, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to take on Sister Sarah. She has cancer. I have to make sure I'm there for her and giving my love to her. My children, they're going through bullying at school, and so I have to make sure that I'm pouring everything to them. My spouse, he's going through something at work, but yet the codependent can have 3-4 diseases, going through financial trouble, and will not remedy any of those situations, and be worried about John across the street and how his financial situation is, help him out, but won't help themselves out because they felt as if it's selfish, and that's just normal self-love to do, but they don't see it as that. They see it as being selfish. So that's why they get abused by people. Even people that aren't abusive, but people are like, oh snap, she'll do it. So let me just ask her to watch my kids at 2 a.m. in the morning. And I don't come back till like a whole 7 days later. And I don't even have to tell her because she's not going to get mad at me. Codependency. Now, for narcissists, they're emotionally unavailable. So, I mean, like I was saying about you telling your deepest thoughts, or saying, oh, I have anxiety, or I believe I have depression, or I'm feeling suicidal. They don't care because it's not about them. So it's like, deal with it. Just deal with it. And I knew you weren't strong anyway. I knew you were weak. So, because you're not like me. So they'll further invalidate you, further abuse you. So, I mean, you're not going to get what you need there. And that's why this merry-go-round of codependency and narcissism, they come together so much, because like if you're constantly invalidated and you don't feel love, this is what the codependent needs. So they're like, okay, I have to do more, I have to do more, I have to do more. And the narcissist continues to pull away, but becomes stronger by, oh my gosh, she'll do anything for me. And I know I'm being the most manipulative and evil that I can be. And I love it because I'm in power. Okay. So the codependent has genuine empathy. It's authentic. It's real. They really care for people. Now, with a narcissist, and why people, even people around them, feel like, oh my gosh, they're beautiful people. They give to the homeless. They are always there for me when I need them. This is why the narcissist can mirror empathy. He or she will be out in the public eye to show how great and caring and such of a service they are to the world. And that's why when the codependent, they finally wake up and they're like, you know what, this is abusive. And they finally come and say, they try to talk to somebody that's in the mutual circle of the narcissist. People don't believe them. Because on the outside, say he's a pastor, deacon, or he's a philanthropist, or she is, she's involved in all of these nonprofit organizations, and it's always sweet to people on the outside. So people don't believe him. They're like, oh, you're lying. There's no way. There's no way they could be this way. But they are. And that's when the codependent wakes up. But nobody believes them. And then the codependent goes back and is like, oh, maybe they're not that bad. Maybe I am like tripping and maybe they were just playing with me. And that's why the abuse continues. Because unknowingly, people outside, they're seeing this nice person, this charming person. And they don't see the abuse that's going on within the home. And so they further invalidate the codependent, and there we go. Cycle back again. The codependent was wanting somebody to validate them, to be like, okay, that's not right. But they'll stand up for the abuser no matter what, because of what they see on the outside. And that is so important to know. When it comes to speaking to someone that's coming to you that's a victim of abuse, listen to them. Because most of the time, the people that you're seeing, it's a mask. Because that's what the codependent saw in the beginning. They saw this sweet, beautiful person that cared for them and wanted to know everything about them. So, codependents have a fear of abandonment. And this is another reason why codependents stay so long with their narcissistic abusers. Because they're scared, they're frozen. And they could know that the person is abusive, male or female. Know that they're abusive, know that they hate them. But they fear to be by themselves because they don't have self-love. And so it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be alone. And the only way I can prove my worth is to showing somebody else that I care for them. So another reason why someone that's abused stays, it's like they're frozen. They're frozen. They can't move. They cannot. Now, the narcissist, on the other hand, enjoys discarding people in relationships as a form of narcissistic supply. And the reason why they would fear and codependent leaving is because they fear losing control. It's not because they love them, not because they support them. It's because they fear losing control. And they need that constant narcissistic supply to feel better, to feel superior, to have this image of success. Okay? Codependents suppress emotions to please others. so they could feel hurt. They could have just, the narcissist could have just screamed at them horribly. And it made them angry or sad or just nervous. And they won't put a line in the sand and say, that's inappropriate. Do not scream at me anymore. They won't say that. On the other hand, the narcissist uses partners' emotions to control them. So what they do is narcissists, they study you. They study you. And this usually happens, kind of before they get with you. They see your little ups and downs, see how you react to certain situations. If they see you fearful, they're like, okay, when I do this, when I scream, he or she is fearful. So this is going to be in my arsenal when I need them to do something for me. Okay. Now, when it comes to codependence, they will lie to decrease probability of being abandoned, abused, or fired, even though they are not in the wrong. Okay? And this is where you see when somebody asks a victim, are you sure you're okay? Yes, I'm okay. Because they're scared of the abuser, okay? And they're like, okay, I know in this environment how he reacts, and I can control this environment by not letting him or her know how I feel, and so I can survive. Okay? Now, the narcissist, on the other hand, will lie in order to confuse the abused, in order to maintain control and to appear grandiose. So, for example, the narcissist could say, oh, you're so ugly. And then the codependent can say, what did you just say? Oh, you're gorgeous. Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Like, oh my gosh. And so the codependent is like, okay, I really thought I heard them say that I was ugly, but they're complimenting me. Maybe my mind is playing tricks on me. And so the narcissist is like, okay, cool. I can demean them, and then I can compliment them to make sure they stay, because they're trying to test the levels on how far they can go. Okay. So, again, with codependence, self-blame, and toxic shame, they feel like the predator, even though they're the prey. If they don't do something right, it could be something as simple as they were late to work because of a horrid accident. They're believing that if I just would have got up 10 minutes later and put my clothes together the correct way and went on I-20 instead of I-75, I would have made it and I wouldn't have been late. And this is just something that happens normally. Codependents, but they go deeper into it and blame themselves for everything. They can be hit. And that is why, another reason why they stay so long is because, for example, they were hit. And then the narcissist is like, oh, you made me angry. You reminded me of my mother. You scared me. So that's what made me do this. And they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I triggered his or her past. I cannot believe I did that. Okay. On the other hand, the narcissist acts like the victim. So For example, say the codependent has seen the light and is letting people know, I left the relationship because they were abusive. The narcissist will be like, I didn't really want to say this to you guys, but they were the one that was hitting me. They put me down. You know, I lost my job. It was because of her, or it was because of him. They will flip the script. And again, because the narcissist is so charming to the public, people will believe that they are the actual victim, and they will come and further invalidate the victim of abuse and act like the victim is the horrible person, when actually the narcissist is playing the victim. And this gives them further supply, because they're like, oh, I can fool everybody. I can fool everybody. Now, the codependent gives from the heart, and the narcissist gives to be seen, or they give to make sure they can blackmail you in the future. So, for example, they wash the dishes and they want you to wash their all of their 5 cars. So they'll be like, can you wash my 5 cars? Oh no, I really have something to do. I have to go to church. But I wash the dishes. So you're telling me you can't wash my 5 cars? I am so good to you, but you just can't do this for me? You're so selfish. I'm always the one who's giving in the relationship, and you're not doing anything. Well, that is the difference between narcissists versus codependents. I hope you really enjoyed this. Please share and like me at a.gudo, the transparency teacher, on my Facebook, or I Speak Motivate on Twitter. I Speak Motivate on Instagram. I will be coming up with more webinars every Tuesday at 7:59 p.m. This was a bonus for you guys, just a sneak peek into what we're getting into, because we need to heal, period, point blank. Well, I love you guys. Feel free to DM me or email me any questions to be featured on a webinar. I will answer it for you. I will research. And we will put it in that audio webinar format, and you can ask your questions and I'll come back. And it'll just be a consistent cycle of giving value to you guys, because you all matter and we all are going to heal together. Thank you so much. And don't forget, tonight, 7:59 p.m. Thank you. Bye.